All our lives, we've been told that being selfish is a bad thing to do. But is it? Golf specialists think otherwise, and they might be right. Golf is, in fact, a selfish sport where you can't worry about others. But is it worth it? In this video, let's discuss the role of selfishness in beginning a successful tour pro. It might have more use than you think. So, let's begin. To start with, Matt Judy believes golfers need to be selfish to be successful. Matt Judy, one of the most famous and successful agents representing PGA Tour players, has always advocated being selfish to become a successful tour pro. Let's rewind to 2014, when the agent shared some crazy hot tips to become a successful golfer. He says golf isn't kumbaya anymore, meaning it isn't about unity today. Instead, it's more about individuality and worrying about yourself. In his statement, Matt said that the buddies golfers make in junior or amateur events want to kick the other in the teeth to win the prize money. Not just that, he also stated that the one who loses first is the one who's worried about others and not himself. So, in short, it's safe to say that in golf, the only player who succeeds is the one who decides not to worry about anyone else but himself. And that's how you define being selfish. It's important to mention that it's not just Matt who thinks this way. Instead, almost every PGA Tour golfer would also agree. If you're worried about others, you're doing it wrong. Not to mention, Justin Thomas also thinks the same. At the President's Cup in September, the professional golfer Justin Thomas said golf is an extremely selfish game. According to him, the intensity of selfishness might differ depending on how a golfer feels or how serious one is about the career. But putting oneself before others is there and is an important part of becoming a successful tour pro. Thomas states several instances where one has to make selfish decisions without thinking about what a coach would think or if it hurt another player. It has to be like, hey, I want to have 5 times as much worse as I have right now. Maybe I'll go do this. And even if others label the person making such decisions as self-absorbed, that's okay, because their perception shouldn't hurt a golfer's look at their career. Everyone is allowed to prioritize themselves, specifically in sports. In a recent podcast, the golfer shared a few moments where selfishness is the only way out for a pro golfer. Up next, let's see what Thomas had to say. While whatever he said was about golf, we feel like the notion could fit into almost every aspect of our daily life. Golfing isn't something one can do, like a 9-to-5 job. Instead, those who choose this career must sacrifice family time and even let down some friends. At the same time, they also have to go through times when their public appearances have to be limited. Doesn't sound so easy. For them, their time is something more precious than anything else. They needed to practice, play, and maintain their skills and abilities, because that helps them earn bread. And anything or anyone who requires a share from that time can end up being a threat to a golfer's whole career. That's not something we're saying, but something that comes from a tour pro. According to him, if a golfer can't let go of anything or anyone who takes away his time, he might be doing it wrong and won't last long. Not just Thomas. Jordan Spieth also suggests being selfish in golf. Apart from Thomas, we looked up the advice of another pro golfer, Jordan Spieth, and he also seems to have similar thoughts. Smith mentioned that being selfish isn't always about family and friends. Sometimes it's the tournament organizers and fans you have to leave behind. He stated that one could take the example of tournament directors. You can be invited to play, but if you know this would cost you your time and nothing beneficial would come out of it, there has to be a selfish decision made. One can say they'd love to play there, but can't because it's not the best for them. When a situation like this comes up, a golfer isn't just disappointing the director, but also their fans. Fans always look forward to seeing their favorite player in every game. But that happens, and if one wants to be a successful tour pro, one must understand the importance of being selfish. It has to be about what's good for them, because that's what counts when talking about a career in golf. Following up, let's see what Trevor Immelman says about it. The captain of the international team at the President's Cup, Trevor Immelman, is quite open about this matter, and you'll see him talk about the guilt trip these selfish decisions can throw a golfer into. According to him, when golfers are working towards success, they have to learn how to enjoy spending time alone. They need to be single-minded and radar-focused. This also means that, at times, they are required to be extremely selfish. He also stated his own experience and said that now that he's on the other side and looks back, he sees a lot of moments where he should have dealt with people differently. But then again, he doesn't regret being selfish about his career either, as staying an elite-level golfer is delicate, and one has to be highly guarded. In conclusion, being selfish isn't always bad, especially when it means you're building your career around a sport you love. Next, let's see what a good agent in golf is like. Now that we know what role selfishness plays in becoming a successful tour pro, let's look at another important question. What makes a good agent in golf? As Matt Judy put it, you can't represent a golfer if you don't treat them like family. He says that the people we represent are our family, and if an agent can't answer the phone because it's their family time and they're out with their family, then they don't need to be on that job. There have been several incidents where one mistake from the agent caused the golfers to get stuck in major controversies, and these incidents make us ask about the the main qualities a good agent should have. Agents, and golf agents specifically, belong to the world of money, as they are there to catch more and more opportunities for their players. In short, they're supposed to sell their players, not in a controversial way, but just the way it works in the industry. But along with that, an agent needs to be able to protect the player. And by protecting, we don't mean he should always be around the player like a bodyguard. Following up, let us explain what protecting the player means. Protecting their players is an umbrella term because several actions come under it. First off, the agent shouldn't be involved in any unforced error. For example, as an agent, it's your job to bring positive press to your client, because when a player gains fame and has a big platform, it gets harder to keep them safe from prying eyes. And even then, if they end up bringing negative press to their client, it can be counted as a cardinal sin. This means that the agent should never be the one putting out a whole controversy that can go against their client, but instead, they should be there to keep their clients safe from anything that could harm their reputation. But that's not all. Social media and its horrors also fall under the same umbrella of protection, especially if the player is running their account on any social media platform. It puts them in a position where they can post something controversial, embarrassing, or anything that could hurt their reputation or even their whole career. One wrong tweet can get you canceled, and famous people are more at risk here. For them, it can cost sponsorships, future endeavors, and mental health. So a good agent always ensures the client isn't getting on the wrong side of social media users. That's one way of protecting. Lastly, a bad agent can end up causing trouble for short-term gains. The player should be the priority. Everything else comes after. Bad agents sometimes don't prioritize the player's comfort and prefer short-term gain. Some end up signing big equipment deals, disregarding that it can make the golfer feel uncomfortable while playing because they're forced into changing clubs. Another weird thing some agents do is pile up their player's day with endless corporate engagements. As we said earlier, for a golfer, time is everything. But when an agent does this, they waste their client's precious time. So from what we've seen in good agents, they're always protecting their players from negative press, social media horrors, things that waste their time, and anything else that can harm their careers. And with this, it's time for us to wrap this up, fam. What do you think about this video? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll soon be back with more amazing videos. See you at the next one.